R&D Sports Lab. Let's talk sports.
I didn't make a schedule of what we wanted to talk first. Do you want to talk volleyball first or
Yeah,
football first?
let's go volleyball first.
Volleyball. Okay, so you mentioned, what was that, 2 nights ago? Yeah. Pittsburgh played Penn State. And so we've already played Pittsburgh, beat them 3-1. And we've played Kentucky, they're rated.
Stanford's rated.
Stanford's rated, yeah.
Utah was rated.
Boy, they gave us a scare. Did you watch any of that
I
match?
did not watch any of that one.
That first set, Utah came out with a mission and we weren't ready. We played flat and Utah was just all over the place, out hustled us, just outplayed us.
Okay, that maybe I did see the scores. Did we pretty much dominate the next three games?
We did. The next three
Yeah,
sets, we
15-10, 15-8, 15, yeah. Which, when you're beating teams, or I'm sorry, 25-10. When you're beating teams by 10, 15 points, that's good in volleyball.
it is.
Because
They,
my thing is what I've always noticed about volleyball is the amount of points that the opponents have. Usually, half of them points are due to your mistakes. So, if you're beating the team 25-11, 25-12, I mean, they basically scored 6 legitimate points against you. You know,
they did.
I mean, and I hate service errors. God, I hate them.
Our team is deep too. I feel our freshmen are good enough that they could probably start on any team, and that's our backups. We basically have a starting lineup as our backups.
Yeah.
Our team is pretty stacked. The transfer, Ali Check, she's an amazing attacker. She's already 27 kills on the season. Rebecca Alec has 68, it looks like. And Taylor Landfair has, where's Taylor? 51. And Andy Jackson has,
70.
and guess who's leading?
Yeah, Harper Murray leads the team.
106.
Yeah.
That's nuts. 106 kills. That's crazy. Well, let's see. Today's Friday when we're recording this, and Saturday, Arizona is in town at Bob Devaney. I saw that they put up a bronze statue of John Cook.
No, I did not see that.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. So when I was in college, Terry Pettit was coach and just runs a dynasty basically. John Cook comes on board, continues on, and now they handed it to Danny Busboom, which I have a quote from Terry Pettit. Commitment to excellence. Boy, that's a mouthful, isn't it? And that's something they've done since Terry Pettit. I mean, they haven't had a losing season in 3 coaches.
Yes.
So that's a testament to what our coaches here have done. They've done an amazing job. And I feel that the underclassmen, the freshmen, they were the ones who kind of carried the Grand Canyon. I know everybody played. I shouldn't say they carried it, but everybody played. And the last test we had was Creighton, set the
Yes.
new attendance record. Took that back from Wisconsin, I think, had it for a little while. Just shy of 18,000. I'm glad we're getting these early tests.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they're scheduling tough opponents early in the season to get us ready for the tournament.
Yeah, I watched the end of that Creighton game, and the fourth set, Creighton was a better team than us. I mean, they won that fourth set, and then that fifth set started, and they jumped up 2-0 right away. And then after that, it was like, it seemed to me like they put Becca Alec back in, and it changed. And I think we ended up winning 15-9 or 15-8. So basically, we outscored them 15-6 in the last, But yeah, we kind of dominated that fifth set towards the end. And
We did. I
Yeah.
think they were locked in on that fifth
yeah,
set.
yeah,
Earlier than that, you're right. The fourth set, Creighton was locked in. They just owned us.
yeah.
So, let's see. I'll look ahead. We have Arizona tomorrow night, Maryland Wednesday, Penn State, and you just said they lost the other night.
Yeah, Penn State lost to Pitt the other night.
Pitt is a tough volleyball school. They are they have a talented team and a very talented coach.
Yeah, besides, which looks like we are probably the best team in the nation. We beat Pitt. But yeah, Pitt's probably the second best team in the nation, I guess.
Texas is
I mean,
ranked
last
2.
year, Pitt looked like the team to beat, and then of course Louisville knocked them out in the Final Four. And but yeah, they got that. I think her name's Babcock on Pitt. Does that sound right? Anyway, they got the best player in the nation on their team, and she just does everything. I mean,
Well, you
when she
mentioned
serves, you can just tell she's a seasoned pro back there serving. I mean, she does everything well.
Yeah, Texas is ranked number 2. They just beat in straight sets TCU. TCU is ranked 9th. That happened Wednesday. And then Kentucky just knocked off Louisville last night. So, yeah, Pittsburgh beat Penn State 3-1, 3 sets, and that was on the road. I think that's tough when you go on the road at Penn State and get a win. Penn State's the reigning national champ from last year. So I don't know who they lost, honestly, as far as players go, but we played Penn State's one of the last games in November, so that'll be a tough one. I mean, once we get to Big Ten play, looks like we play Penn State twice. Purdue, Michigan State, Michigan, Northwestern, Michigan State twice, Wisconsin. So we have, and Oregon. Oregon's good too. We have our work cut out for us, and the one thing that I'm a little frustrated with, and I'm sure the coaches are too, service errors. We have on the season so far 70 service errors, but we also have 31 aces. So I'm excited to see what Danny Busboom does all the way through the rest of the season. And so far, she's done a great job. Her and Reyes, the whole staff has done
Now,
a great
who's
job.
Reyes?
Assistant coach.
Okay, so he's the guy that does most of the talking. Because when I see what little bit I've watched, and I'm going to say I've watched less than 25% of the games, I tune in towards the end. Danny seems like she just stands there with her arms crossed, and he does all the talking. So
I feel it was the same way when Cook was there, wasn't it?
And I always said in the past that a head coach, while the game's going, because they prepare for the game, and once that game starts, I think that's what the head coach is there. He's supposed to be there just in case things go bad. So I remember old school head coaches, they'd stand on the sideline with no headset on, and they wouldn't even go over and talk to the assistant coaches unless something was going not right.
Yeah.
And I always said, man, I like that. The head coach is just there, you know. Tom Landry, Chuck Noll, the head coach is being the offensive coordinator. I'm like, no. The head coach is supposed to be there and watch the game closely. And when he sees something wrong, then maybe you talk at halftime. But if you think it's too bad, you might approach the coach during the game. But not no more. Not no more. The head coach has got control of everything, and, headset on, always talking, But yeah, Danny just standing there and letting the other coaches say, okay, this is what we did, I'm like, well, maybe she's got the team right where she wants it, and she doesn't have to say nothing.
I think that's you're right. I think that's a sign of a good coach when you have great staff that you trust them.
Yeah, you plan all week or not volleyball, you don't have a whole week, but 2 days or whatever. And then if everything's going the way you practiced, you just don't say nothing. You just sit there and just let the game go.
What you said, I brought up some Tom Osborne quotes, reminded me of this Tom Osborne quote. Work hard, stay focused, and surround yourself with good people.
Yeah.
And I think everybody on that volleyball staff is good people. Everybody on the players' side, good people. Yeah. And they all trust each other. And I like that Danny kind of lets them squirm a little bit. They've found themselves in bad situations, and she'll tell Reyes, or Reyes will decide to take a timeout, and then they'll regroup a little bit, calm them down, and move forward. So it's amazing having seen where the Husker football program used to be, and it's now the focus in my mind is how good the Husker volleyball team is. You can count on them week in, week out to be amazing. And it hasn't dipped in 20 plus years. So my hat's off to the program.
Yeah.
They've done amazing stuff. Any other things you want to chat about the Husker volleyball team?
They look like the best team in the country, and we'll see if that goes on. I mean, the Big Ten's tough. They're going to meet a lot of tough competition, and
Big
Yeah.
tough, yeah.
I hope they can get it done. I mean, but we've seen them. We've seen them get taken to the fifth set with 2 teams already.
Yeah.
Kentucky and Creighton. So,
Kentucky scared us. Kentucky did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see here. What was that? 24-26. They took the first one. They took the first 2. So then we had to do the reverse sweep.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, I didn't see any of that game because I was at work.
And that was on the road. That was another road test for us, which in my mind is a great way to get ready for the tournament, which is weeks and weeks off. But
Yeah.
when you can do a reverse sweep on the road,
Yeah. The only other thing I can say is we look like the best team because they're the only team I'm watching. I mean, closely. Let's just, Of course, yeah, I did see a little bit of the Kentucky game. The Kentucky game I did not see. I seen a little bit of the Utah game and the Creighton game, and early on, I think I seen a little bit of the Stanford game. So yeah, we look like the best team, but we've gotten to the tournament before. Was it 2 years ago when we played Texas and they absolutely killed us, and I was like, well, how did that happen?
they were
Because
talented.
we thought we were the best team in the nation then. Well, you didn't see Texas until the tournament, and then you're like, okay, they're better than us.
I feel Akana told them exactly who to serve to.
Yeah,
We never got a good pass.
yeah. So
The amount of aces they had, that they made us look silly.
oh yeah, it was terrible.
They made us look
smoked
silly.
us.
Okay, I hope that never happens again.
Yeah.
That they make
Yeah.
us look that silly, but that was a testament to how good that Texas
Yeah.
team was.
Yeah.
And Texas is still good. They're ranked second this year,
Yeah.
and we won't see them until the tournament if we see them in the tournament. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of great volleyball going on, and that's an interesting take that Nebraska looks like the best team because they're the only one I'm watching. So,
Yeah.
but there is a lot of good stuff out there. Should we move on to the Husker football?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. Here's another Osborne quote. The odds are always against you, no matter what your previous history is. You have to overcome the tendency to relax. And I don't know if Matt Rule is allowing his team to relax or not, but man, he has a big one on his hands this weekend.
Yes.
Michigan, 21. Michigan's ranked 21. I'm glad this is not only on Paramount Plus, but also CBS. They had previous games. I think last year it was just Peacock only. I'm not a fan of that when it's just the streaming service. I like the fact that it's Paramount Plus and CBS, but that does make sense because CBS owns Paramount. So
Yeah.
what do they care if it's also on their streaming site?
Yeah.
Do you know what the line is? The last I checked, Michigan was
It's down to 1.5 last I looked.
okay.
It's moving down. So the money's on Nebraska right now, which is very surprising.
Well, that's what I was wondering. 2 or 3 days ago, it was at 3.5. Then it moved to 2.5.
Yeah, it was down to 1.5 last I seen.
Hmm.
It's moving. So, yeah, it's nice to see that there are people out there that, thinks Nebraska's going to win the game. I don't know. I want to see the game. I want to see how our defensive line is because right now it just does not look like we can stop anything up the middle. Looks like our defensive tackles are a little weak up the middle. Michigan's going to be by far the best offensive line we faced. They always have big 300-pounders that just... So we'll see. I think our defense is fast to the ball. Our defensive backs are playing really well. We're holding teams under 100 yards passing. But I'm just afraid that we cannot stop that run. And if a team is bigger and more physical than you, and they just stick to the old Tom Osborne plan, just beat them up, beat them up, beat them up, because by the third, fourth quarter, you're going to do whatever you want.
Yeah, they'll wear you out.
Yeah, so that's the only thing I'm afraid of, is we're going to get worn out, we're going to get beat up, and whatever. But maybe we'll score every time we touch the ball, and we'll just shoot out and beat them.
I think.
Yeah.
I think
And-
it depends on who wins the coin toss. I feel if we decide to go on defense first and we stop them,
Yeah.
that will be a key to us winning the game. If we lose the coin toss and then that dictates the momentum for the rest of the game, it might
And
be.
we have played well in keeping teams out of the end zone. We have. So, maybe if Michigan does move the ball on us, if we can hold them to field goals rather than touchdowns, that could be a big part of the game too. But yeah, I don't know. I'd like to be very optimistic about this game, but something tells me we're gonna struggle against that running game, and they got that quarterback who is the top recruit in the nation because he's the best dual threat quarterback in the nation. And yeah, it's just it's going to be interesting to watch. I hope we can hang in there. I hope it don't get ugly.
Did you watch any of the Oklahoma Michigan game?
No, I did not.
How Oklahoma handled them? They put pressure on him the entire game.
Yeah.
And as a young player, he didn't look comfortable. He was kind of running for his life. If we do that, we're going to have a better chance. But also, what Cincinnati did in the second half with their running quarterback, we almost lost that game.
And yeah, I felt like Cincinnati handed that game to us when they decided to throw that ball up. Because, I mean, the quarterback really kind of threw that ball up for grabs. And our guy beat that wide receiver to the ball, in which I felt that wide receiver was kind of lazy going for that ball, too. And when I saw that, I just stood up and I said, thank you. Because all they had to do is just keep the ball up the middle of the field
Yeah.
and kick the field goal and at least take it to overtime. If not, punch it in the end zone running the ball. So, yeah, I was like, thanks, Cincinnati.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't you feel that was kind of a new coach kind of gaffe, mistake, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know their coach. Was he a new coach too, or?
I'm thinking I should have researched that, but I'm thinking Cincinnati's coach is 1 or 2 years,
Okay.
has only been there 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
But yeah, I agree. Okay, so that game, Johnson was the leading rusher, had 108 yards. Dylan Raiola threw for 243 yards. But we allowed Cincinnati to throw for 202 yards, and their quarterback rushed for 96 yards.
Yeah.
Plus, we had 3 penalties, and the no turnovers might have been the key to us getting it, because obviously that last second interception sealed the game for us, or last play for them on offense.
Yeah.
And
And it was good to see that the same guy who intercepted it was the guy who had the gaff, because he interfered and gave him a first down. So they, and then when you saw that, you're just like, okay, now they're on our side of the 50. And almost a minute to play, you're like, oh man, I don't like this. It just shades of Nebraska losing at the end.
yeah, felt like you're going to give them the
At the
game.
end,
Going to give them the
How
game.
many times in the last 3 years, how many times have we lost at the end of the game? 10, 15 times? It's a lot.
With 3 different coaches.
Yeah. So,
Well, the other thing too, it's not just their running quarterback. It's not just Michigan's running quarterback, Underwood. This Haynes running back for Michigan, he was a transfer from Alabama. Right now, on 49 carries for the season, he has 388 yards. The kid's really good. Really good. So they're stacked on offense, and what they've done since the Oklahoma loss is pretty good. They hung 63 points on Central Michigan. So they've got the weapons. I know we've scored 60 this year on Akron, 59 on Houston Christian, but if you don't, so I see why they're putting it at a closer, like even, because it could come down to the final stretch, to whoever has the ball last, and that's why I said it could come down to who wins the coin toss and send momentum.
yeah, the one thing that probably upset me the most in the last 2 games is the fact when we get a new set of downs inside the 10-yard line, you got 4 downs to punch it in the end zone, and you can't do it against an Akron and against a Houston Christian. Houston Christian turned the ball over last week at the 8-yard line. We didn't punch it in. I don't care if you're beating a team 70-0. You hand the ball up the middle, you push it forward. How do you not get it in the end zone?
There was no movement either.
That is what really bugs me. If you can't do that against them teams, what are you going to do? I mean,
It was one of those with Heinrich Harburg too,
We tried to do the tush push with Henrik Harburg, and it went nowhere.
Yeah, I
We
would
did
have.
not get a push, and I'm like, how? That was against Akron.
I would have rather seen them try a tight end sweep with him because he's fast enough to get to the corner.
Yeah.
Because you're right, we didn't move the middle of that line at all against any of those teams, either one of those. Because we tried it against Akron, where we ended up kicking a field goal, and we tried it against Houston Christian, where the same thing. We couldn't move their defensive line enough to get in there.
Yeah. So, yeah. So right now, I think the two biggest worries are the defensive line and the offensive line. That's where I think our biggest worries are, and we're going to get tested this weekend with both of them, because Michigan's probably bigger than us on both sides. I don't know that, but Michigan's always big, so.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't looked at their roster. I don't know where they're at, but I think that's a good concern because I'm right there with you. I would love for us to come in there and roll Michigan, but I know we're not going to roll them. I know this is going to be another test, kind of.
Yeah.
This is going to be a tougher test than Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And in all the games that I've watched, we've kind of come out flat. We haven't come out with a full head of steam and immediately taken the game over. It's taken us time to build into that. And if we do that and let Michigan have the first momentum swing, that's not going to be good in my mind. How about this? I know Dylan's our starter, but what do you think of TJ Lateef?
I haven't.
Or you haven't seen him play yet, really?
Well, I've seen him play. I haven't really. By that time we had the game kind of won, so you just don't really focus in on him. You kind of know that it's the backup, but he looks sharp. I mean, he's completed all but 2 passes.
Yeah.
I think he was 5 for 5 once and 5 for 7 the other, or whatever it was. But anyway, yeah, and he can run. I mean, that kid can run. So, yeah, I don't know. In today's game, if you got a backup, you're like, man, we're going to be good for the next 4 years because we got this starter, and then he's going to take over his junior year. That don't happen no more.
No,
They're
transfer.
one of them's going to transfer.
Okay, and the other thing, it's not really a fair question because so you have this backup coming in, and the game is already decided. There is zero pressure on this kid. But what I like about TJ Lateef, what I've seen is his zip on the ball, his release. He's got a quick release. He's a lot quicker runner, or maybe he just looks quicker.
He's quicker.
But
Dylan Raiola is not the most fleet of foot guy. He's not.
no, and his pinpoint accuracy, and I shouldn't call it one gripe on Dylan Raiola, but he floats those balls in there, and on a couple of occasions you've seen the receiver have to wait or come back to the ball, and TJ Lateef will get them in stride. And not to say that Dylan Raiola hasn't hit his receivers in stride, because he has, but
Well, one of the best plays I like that Nebraska runs, and it looks to me like it would be unstoppable, but you just get that tight end, that Lindenmeyer or Harburg. Mm-hmm. They just go downfield about 4 or 5 yards, they turn and square their shoulders right back at Dylan, and then he just fires a strike right at their chest. Well, you get a 6'5" tight end, or 6'6", however big they are, and they get their elbows outside their body, you can't get around them. And if Dylan can fire that ball right at their chest, I mean, that's, to me, I love that play. And I'm like, dude, run that every play until I can stop it. But, it just, I don't know. We're going to play Michigan. We're going to have a tougher competition this weekend. So let's see how we do. And then we'll be able to talk a little bit more about them.
So I pulled up our roster, and we've got a few guys over 300. We've got some 6'5", 6'7", 6'3", 300. 6'5", 290, 6'7", 265, 6'5", 320. I think our defensive line is similarly sized to Michigan's. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's the motor. Sometimes it's your will and determination that gets you there.
Yeah.
So I hope we have that will. I hope we have that determination. A few weeks ago, I came across this YouTube video. It was Peyton Manning, and he was interviewing a former Minnesota Vikings guy, defensive end, and they were saying how he was undersized for his time. He was like 225 pounds, and a lot of teams had passed on him because they felt he was undersized. And to get traction, to have a team look at him, he wore heavy chains around his waist under his workout gear. And I'm talking about John Randall. And he said that added like 10, 15 more pounds. And so when I got to the scale, teams were like, "Oh yeah, this is a typical, defensive lineman. This will do it." But he was actually 225 pounds. So it's not necessarily always your weight, but it's your speed and determination and grit to like outdo that lineman that you're going against. So we need some John Randall type players on our defense this week to get it done, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Well, let's see. What else should we talk about Husker wise? I would love to see us to be in a spot where we could use our backup and know that we have the game in the bag, but I don't see us having that game. Emmett Johnson is a great running back. He's averaging 6 yards a carry so far. And well, let's see. That was actually specifically against Houston Christian. He averaged 6 yards a carry. And he had 140 yards against Akron. And he had 96 yards he had 108 yards against Cincinnati. So getting back to what you said earlier, if you have a Tom Osborne type mentality, we're going to wear you down, we're going to wear you down, we're going to wear you down. I like what we've done this year with being kind of two-dimensional. We'll come in and run. Some games we've started with a pass, but we'll definitely key in on some running, so they don't know what's coming all the time. And by the half or third quarter, we have beat them up a little bit on both sides. We've run them down with deep passes. We've run them down with rushing enough, and they're a little skittish. Our opponents have been, but I don't know if that's going to work against Michigan. We're going to have zero mistakes. We're going to have zero turnovers, and I don't know if we can do that.
Yeah. Man, Dylan's clicking. He is 75% completion. I mean, he's hitting his players. So
I don't even think he has any interceptions this year at all. Yeah, and when I mentioned T.J. Lateef, I'm not trying to take anything away from Dylan Raiola. That kid's amazing. I didn't realize I didn't say anything like that, but
Yeah.
Dylan Raiola is a really great quarterback.
yeah,
It's just fun to see another guy come in and that T.J.
Yes.
Lateef,
it is.
and he's really good. Yeah. Okay. So Dylan Raiola, 829 yards for the season, 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That's pretty good. 0 interceptions, 3 games.
Yeah.
So I hope that continues. And then let's see. Dylan's a sophomore, and Michigan's is Bryce Underwood, freshman. What I sent you a note about that. He is one of was it 3 or 4 freshmen? He's only the 4th freshman to start at quarterback in program history. Rick Leach in 95, Chad Henning in 2004, and Tate 4 in 2009.
Yeah.
That's a testament to how good your freshman quarterback is.
Yes.
So he has 628 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception on the season. 6'4", 228 pounds. But the guy's lightning fast.
Yeah.
But Oklahoma figured out a way to stop him. So I hope we can.
Yep.
I hope we can. So our season doesn't get any easier. Michigan this weekend. Next Saturday, Michigan State. That's at home. And then we go on the road twice. Maryland, Minnesota. And that Minnesota game is a night game in Minnesota. Then back home for Northwestern. Back home for USC. USC is currently ranked 25th. Then on the road to UCLA. UCLA has issues.
Oh, yeah.
Fired their coach
They just
recently.
fired him. Yeah, they just fired him.
And then on the road to Penn State.
Yeah.
And then the Friday game at Iowa to finish it off.
Yeah, so our two, well, I won't say Iowa was one of our toughest, but Penn State is the toughest team on our schedule as of right now. We'll see though. A lot of people like that USC team. People like that quarterback they got. They say he's good. I can't remember his name, but I was listening to some of the talk shows and they were really talking up USC. So, you know, it makes me kind of want to watch them now this weekend just to see how good they are, how good this quarterback is that USC's got. But yeah, they're talking them up.
Well, and Michigan really had their work cut out for them against Oklahoma. They're out now saying the Oklahoma quarterback is in the running for the Heisman. I know it's early in the season, but when you say that this early in the season, that kid's doing a great job for Oklahoma. Do you know who USC is playing this weekend? I'm trying to get to the
Yeah, no,
scores
I
here.
don't. I want to say it's a fairly good team because otherwise I don't think they would have been touching on it. But yeah,
Come on. Let's see here.
Michigan State.
Oh, Michigan State. Okay.
So yeah, I don't know enough about Michigan State either. But
I don't know if Michigan State's really doing anything this year. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm not sure. I do know that the SEC is talented. The Big Ten's talented.
SEC's got 11 teams in the top 25. Man, that's a lot of teams.
That is a lot of teams.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Well, did you happen to see Texas' first game?
Versus
Well, they ended up losing.
the Ohio State.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to it heading home. It must have been an 11 o'clock game because it was on the radio. And when I started listening to it, it was 14-0. And Ohio State was pretty much just shutting them down. And I don't know if a penalty kept the drive alive or what happened, but Peyton Manning ended up getting it in the end zone and making it 14-7.
Not Peyton, but I know what you're meaning.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Arch Manning.
That's all good.
Yeah.
How do you not say
14-7.
Peyton? Yeah.
You know, made it 14-7, and you thought, okay, onside's coming, or Texas. You know, you thought, okay, Texas is gonna do something to tie this, and then it just went right back to Ohio State. Just not. Ohio State played really good, and I think that drive. And like I said, I was listening to it on the radio, but I'm pretty sure that drive was kept alive by a couple penalties otherwise Ohio State should have shut them out. It should have been a shutout. And because they kept talking on the radio how there has never been, or Texas has never been shut out when they were ranked number one. And then they was going down the line of teams that were ranked number one that got beat, let alone shut out, and it was a very small list. So they were really hyping that, like, oh, this could be a shutout, this could be the biggest blunder by a number one team, and
I don't know why they had him ranked number one.
When it was all said and done, you look at the stats and Peyton Manning's, stat sheet.
Arch Manning.
I'm sorry, Arch Manning.
It's all good.
It was not good.
He wasn't ready.
Yeah.
He wasn't ready. Ohio State was the way better team, and after watching that, I don't know how or where they decided to make Texas number one. Yeah. It didn't seem right, and it seemed as if they gave the number one rating because they want Arch Manning to be so good. Mm-hmm. But he's a ways away from being as good as Ohio State looked.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Okay. So you mentioned that USC quarterback. His first name's Jaden. His last name's Mayava.
That's right. Yeah.
And he started at UNLV in 2023. He has already thrown almost 1,000 yards, 989 yards, 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and he has the highest QB rating in college football right now. Kid's getting it done.
Yeah.
You want to talk a little Crawford? You want to talk a little Omaha?
Yeah, let's
Omaha
talk
guy
about
boxing.
that guy. He's something else.
Yeah.
I mean, when I say that, and I don't. I mean, we all know. We all grew up hearing names like Sugar Ray Leonard and Hagler and Hearns and Roberto Duran and Pacquiao and
Ray Boom Boom Mancini.
This guy might be the best ever.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding when I say this is the third undisputed not undisputed, but unified weight where he unified all the belts, the third in 3 different divisions or weight classes, and nobody's ever done that.
No.
And he jumped up 2 weight classes. It's not like he worked his way up to. He just jumped up 2, and then beat who a lot of people think might have been the best middleweight champion ever, in Canelo.
Now Canelo's an amazing fighter, and when I asked you if you wanted to talk about this fight, I looked up his only 3 losses were to Floyd Mayweather in 2013, so that was early in his career. Yeah, early in his career, and you can't blame a guy for losing to Mayweather.
Well, no.
So
everybody lost to Mayweather.
Right, and the reason I wanted to start with Mayweather is Mayweather's fighting style and Bud Crawford's fighting style are a little similar in that they wait and see what the opponent is going to do a lot of counters. Mayweather might be more on the defensive side, and where Bud is defensive, but I think he attacks just as much as he boxes defensively. And Bud's footwork is just the best I've ever seen in my lifetime. Like he can get out of a sticky situation like nothing.
Yeah.
And then let's see, the other fight that he lost was to Dimitri Bivol in 2022, and then Canelo tried to move up to light heavyweight, and that's when he lost to Bivol in 2022. So, yeah, you're right. There hasn't been anything like this. 4-division world champion, not just moved up 4 weight classes.
Yeah.
He was world champion in all 4 weight classes.
But like I said, he unified 3 of them, which nobody's ever done. Now, people like Canelo and people like Manny Pacquiao, I think they've done 5 or 6 different championships in 6 different weight classes. but they never unified the belt like Crawford. I mean, it's something else.
Yeah.
He's very good. It would have been nice to see about a 5-year difference in ages where maybe Mayweather and Crawford could have boxed each other, but that never happened.
I
Yeah.
feel, and you're 100% correct, and I feel that there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that we don't see in the boxing world. Not every boxer wants to fight the best boxer.
Yeah,
And it's not always necessarily the boxer's choice, it's who their promotion company is.
yeah,
And everything that I've read about this Canelo Crawford fight that happened, the deciding factor was the boxing promoter of Riyadh, I think, opened up a $400 million
yeah,
basically purse of enticement. Like, I want you to fight, and here's $400 million to Canelo.
yeah.
I need this fight, and this fight. And if you do all of these, here's $400 million. Otherwise, I don't know if he would have done it.
Well, it's how many years ago it was, but I'm pretty sure it was before it was before the Pat Mahomes $500 million thing, and before. It might have even been right before Mike Trout's $426 million contract. But Canelo signed a 10-year, $300 million contract with, was it Top Rank Boxing, or I don't remember who exactly, but at that time, that was one of the richer contracts. And they're like, he'll box once a year. He's making $30 million a fight, which we all know that that's about half as much money as Mayweather was making, because he would, he'd get some pretty big paydays.
He would.
But no, it was. I watched the fight, and it was a little bit on the boring side. It kind of reminded me of the Mayweather Pacquiao fight. I don't know if both boxers were just like, I don't want to go in just headstrong and get punched. I respect this guy. He's good. And the first 4 rounds were like, the crowd was booing. There was a few boos in that crowd. And
it's
the
interesting.
4th round, you're just like, well, who's won these 4 rounds? Who's really won them? And well, everybody, the people that were commentating the fight, they all had basically Crawford winning them. And then in the 5th round, I think Crawford took off and won the fight. So really, if the scorecards would have came back 120 to 108, it wouldn't have shocked me at all. It really wouldn't have. I thought Crawford won at least 10 rounds. I might have gave 2 to Canelo, but when 2 of the judges had it 115, 113, I went, it wasn't that close.
No.
Canelo tried to get in there a couple times, and Crawford would stick him with that jab, and you just seen him back up and go. He was like, he was getting frustrated.
He was.
Crawford beat him, and he beat him pretty soundly. And to me, that's incredible. That was incredible.
I'm gonna agree to disagree with you and say it wasn't a boring fight, and I love talking with other people and hearing their opinions and what they feel the fight did for them. Because I printed out a scorecard from one of the people, and they had 118 to 110, and this wasn't a judge. This was the ESPN writer, but I understand what you're saying when you say I think it was boring, because it wasn't like a Mike Tyson brawl. It wasn't just, I'm going to try to knock you out. It wasn't a Rocky fight. It wasn't the movie Rocky.
Yeah.
In my mind, though, it was a quintessential boxing match with a guy taking his chances, protecting when he needed to, using his footwork to get out of Canelo's grasp, out of the corner, away from the ropes, and then smirking at Canelo when he hit him, and he's like, "Dude, that did nothing," and laughing and talking smack to him in the ring.
Yeah.
And I think the only time that Canelo hurt him is when he gave him the headbutt and I think opened up a wound on his eye.
Yeah.
And that might have been the only time that Canelo hurt him, because by the end of the boxing match, Canelo's, was it right eye or left eye, was swollen, and his face was beaten up.
Yeah.
So, but I understand I understand what you're saying, that when you say it was boring, you're right. Neither one of these boxers just went in there with everything, every single round, and tried to destroy the other guy.
Not like the fight 2 bouts before that
Yeah.
against that Billy and Martinez.
Those two guys went and
Oh.
left.
That might be the fight of the year, that was an incredible fight, and people watching that, and then they see, oh well, now Crawford Canelo's coming up, them two guys went at it, and it was a very, and they fought to a draw, which I couldn't agree with a decision more. Neither one of them guys won that fight. It was, well, I'll take that back. Both of them won that fight. That was a good fight.
Yeah, I agree. That was the perfect way to end that. It was a draw.
Yeah.
Neither one did any more than the other one. Both of them fought with everything they could. Both of them went in there and tried to destroy the other one, and both of them stood up tall and took everything that the other guy handed to them. And it was fast paced. It was all the punches. It was flurries of punches.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for one of them just to connect and knock him down, but neither one of them.
Canelo, man, he is so graceful in defeat too, ain't he? He's a class act. Man.
He is.
Yeah.
Even when I could tell that Bud Crawford was really mad when he headbutted him accidentally, and he came over and even apologized after.
Yeah.
And he is so great. I've never seen a boxer do that, be so graceful or gracious in defeat. He was an amazing athlete, a great sportsman, no matter, across the board. Canelo, class act.
Yep.
Yeah. That was. Do you think they fight again?
I don't know. Crawford's 37. I'd like to see one of them guys in that fight prior, Billy or Martinez, because it's a super middleweight. It's the same weight class him and Canelo fought in.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him fight one of them and have them come after him like that and just see what he would do. Because they're bigger. I mean, they are. They're bigger than Crawford. I mean, they weigh in at 168, but they come in at 175 plus. And Crawford had to gain weight to get there. But it didn't slow him down. I was very...
He didn't look slow at all, did he?
He looked like he should have been fighting at that weight class his whole career.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was awesome.
This boxing match reminded me of that movie, Bleed for This, The Tasmanian Devil.
Yeah.
I don't know, we've talked about that movie before, but yeah. It's tough to cut weight. I can't imagine having to cut weight and then the amount of energy that takes away from you. But neither one of them, Canelo or Bud, looked like they were zapped at all. And again, you're right, Bud went up 15 pounds?
Yeah.
Or something like that. And he didn't look slow at all. It didn't look like it.
Super welterweight's 154 and super middleweight is 168. So yeah, 14 pounds.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a testament for how amazing of athletes both of those guys are.
Yes.
I've got one question for you, and it's something that I read earlier in the week that I've asked a few people in the last few days. Did you ever play video games in arcades as a kid growing up?
Oh yeah.
Okay. We're going to go back in time. You have $1, and you're in an arcade. What is the one video game you're going to go play?
Well, the one that I remember playing a lot was a wrestling game. I'm pretty sure it was called Map Mania. And I just always remember playing that.
That's the one you're going to go play.
Well, I can't really think of another one. I mean...
I heard people would say like Galaga, Centipede, Frogger,
Yeah.
Donkey Kong was another one. Spy Hunter was another game mentioned.
Yeah. Now, when you say arcades, I guess I don't remember ever really going to an arcade and having my choice of multiple games to play. We used to take our quarters and go down to the local grocery store that was close to my parents' house, and they'd just have one game back there.
Yeah.
And then everybody would just go back there and just beat the hell out of it. And then 2 years later, they'd put a different game back there because I'm sure they destroyed it by beating it. But yeah,
Or whatever
we played
Pizza
a
Hut.
wrestling game called Mat Mania. And then there was another fighting
Was
game.
was
kinda
that
like
at the Jack
Mortal
and Jill?
No, it was called Bogarts at that time.
Oh, okay.
And then there was another game back there. It was a fighting game, kind of like a Mortal Kombat game.
Street
But
Fighter?
it wasn't either one of them. It was older than that.
Okay.
I'm talking like when I was 9, 10, 11 years old, you know. And then there a track and field game that me and my buddy used to play.
Really?
And we would play it together because you'd have to hit the buttons to run, and then you'd have to hit another button to jump or whatever. And so he was faster with his fingers, tapping on it. And so I would let him do that, and then I would just push the button. So he would just continuously tap, and we would always break everybody's records, you know. But we were kind of cheating.
Yeah.
Everybody else would do it themselves.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
never had to move his finger. I just hit the button. And you always had to get it you had to push the button and hold it to get the angle for the proper jumps. And it was always 40 to 45% angle would give you the best jump. Well, I would just push it and go one and let go. And it would stop like at 40 or 45%. So, I mean, we would do really good at that game. But like I said, in a way, we were kind of cheating, I guess.
Okay,
It's 2
so
against 1.
so
basically.
all those games, can you pick one? You're in the arcade. Can you pick one game that you would? I'm going to spend my last quarter on this game.
Yeah, it was that Mat Mania.
The
I
Mat
love that
Mania.
I love that wrestling game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and you had to beat everybody the same way. You had to climb the rope 3 times and do the elbow smash 3 times, and then you could pin him. If you got off of him and tried the elbow smash the 4th time, he would get up, and then if he caught you, you were done.
That was the program. You had to do.
That was just the way it was. You had to clothesline them, and then you did a body slam or a pile driver, and then you would climb the rope. If you climbed it twice, he would kick out. If you did it 3 times, you could pin him. But if you tried it the 4th time, he would totally get up. And then, yeah. But basically,
That's awesome.
once you got on the offensive side, if you just did the same routine, you could pin him every time. But if he got on the offensive side, he'd just do the same thing to you. And you would just get so mad. Because you'd be like, well, if I just push the button faster, I can kick out. No, if he climbed the rope 3 times and elbow smash you, you were pinned.
You're
That's
done.
just the way it was.
So that's awesome. Well, Roger, thanks for coming and chatting
Yeah,
sports.
yeah.
Oh, this was fun.
Okay.
This has been R&D Sports Lab.